All right, so we're on Irene Yvette's channel. Uh, she commits a common fallacy in which instead of actually having a stance, she just shames or throws darts at it. Pretty obviously she did it on purpose, but let's dig into it.
Hey guys, this is Irene. So, males who go their own way. I know that technically it's men who go their own way, but these people aren't men. They're male. They just have penises. And having a phallus doesn't necessarily make you a man. It just makes you.
So right off back, the comment that you're not a man if you don't agree with what I think you should do, because that's really what it is. Me deciding to live my life a certain way, or any man, how are you allowed to tell me or anybody else what makes them a man? You said you had an ex-husband, so can I say because you didn't fulfill your marriage, can I say you're not a woman, you're just female?
Male. So for you males that are going your own way, this video is all about you. And I had heard of them a couple of months ago because, good old internet, it is an abyss that wants to let you know about all the stupid things that are going on in the world. And I decided not to make a video about it because I was like, dude, that's awesome. I'm so glad these people are identifying themselves and choosing to separate from society. We could not ask for anything better. If every useless person just threw their hands up and said, I'm going to grab an acronym and walk away, we would be in such an amazing place right now as a people.
What makes them useless? Because if you looked into it like you should before making a video, you see that it's not just dudes who don't have kids and dudes who are broken, dudes who don't work. It's a wide range of dudes who have jobs, dudes who were once married and got screwed, and et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, there are bitter men in there, like I've said before, but you can't call them useless because they don't want to get married and have children if they don't already have that. You're just throwing that out there again to shame people because they don't agree with you.
Like humanity, our genetic pool would be awesome right now. But anyway, that's beside the point. Anyway, males who go their own way. Apparently they're sick of women and they don't want to associate with us. And I'm not going to go into their rhetoric.
Wrong. Let's think about it this way. It's men who go their own way typically is basically not conforming to the societal standard of I have to get married, have children, and do this typical to be a man, this is what I have to do nonsense. Now, who are the men who mostly go their own way, but maybe don't say it? Men that a lot of women want. That's why they aren't with one woman, because they go their own way. They don't settle down. They don't abide by the rules of society and become a husband or whatever. Or even if they do, they don't say, oh, I'm going to be faithful and la da da. You see the point here is you can't say because they went their own way, they must be the guys who are undesirable and have not good genetic traits. Your entire point of this video is just you being throwing a hissy fit because somebody is doing something you don't like.
Beliefs. I don't even think half of them know what they believe. But I do know this. I want them to wear t-shirts. I am serious. Like, it's not enough for you to be a part of this movement. Can you clearly identify yourself so that we know who you are? I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm pretty sure from the one that...
Can you wear a shirt that says I am a divorcee? Can you wear a shirt that says I have a failed marriage? Can you wear the shirt that says I tend to lash out because I am bitter and have no real point and no real argument? Can you wear a shirt that says that?
I personally encountered that I can smell a beta person from 10 miles away.
Again, him saying that he doesn't want to participate in what we call, traditional, what a man is, doesn't make him beta. I won't give you the example again, but I already gave it. You can be alpha and go your own way.
But everybody doesn't have that superpower. So what I think is super important is that if you find a way to identify yourself, I don't know, all of you wear pastel pink or purple or a t-shirt or little badges or something. I don't know, organize, figure something out to identify yourself so that we know to not engage you. That would be awesome. And I don't think...
Why you need that? You can't tell when a guy is not genuinely interested in you? How old are you? You can't tell when a guy solely wants to be there so he can have sex and move on about his life? How quickly do you jump into bed with him? Why do you need to wear a shirt?
You guys should bash them. Like I said, if every person who has nothing to contribute would simply collectively grab, like I said, an acronym and leave, we cannot hope for more. We should promote this kind of behavior. We should promote these people to gather together, make a fuss, and identify themselves. Raise your hand if you're useless. Raise your hand if you don't want to play the game. Raise your hand if you're confused. Okay, now all of you guys go.
Why did you throw in confused? Going your own way is not being confused. Not participating is not being confused. You've made a choice. That's not confused. This further proves you don't know what you're talking about. You're just being a little girl.
Go to the left, far side of the room. I don't see a problem here. And I want y'all to stop making fun of them, quite frankly. Men, like creatures, males who are going your own way, I want you to know that Irene is with you. I support your movement. I support your movement. And I think as many people as you can recruit, you should. You see, because you'll only recruit a certain type of male, which will leave the pool.
False. Very false. You give a compelling enough argument, you can convince just about anybody. You tell men, hey, look at Blake Griffin. He didn't even marry her, but because he had 2 kids with her, she gets to take $3 million a year and spend it however she wants out of his paychecks. You can convince, look at how guys get married and then they have to give up all their shit, pay alimony, sometimes forever. Some guys get drugged around through the system about their kids, etc. You don't think that's compelling enough to convince a lot of guys don't get married? Because again, you don't have to have real compelling evidence to go to court and get a divorce and get whatever you want that you possibly can out of that guy. So it's not just a particular guy that they're going to recruit. They're going to recruit people who don't want their shit taken, who don't want to lose all their freedom.
Of actual men, more identifiable for those of us who like them, revere them, and want them. I couldn't hope for anything better. If all I could do was walk in a room with men who were actually men and not have to worry about the males who aren't men confusing the soup, my life would be so much easier. It really would.
Why would it be easier? If you walk into a room and you're able to identify the men who are men from the males, how many dudes are you meeting? Since you want to shame people, how often are you walking in a room full of men hoping to find a man? Are you always manless? Why? Why don't you wear a shirt that says you're always manless? Identify yourself.
Oh, so, hey, if there's a way I can help fund your movement, if there's anything I can do to help you recruit other people of your mental capacity, if there's anything I can do to spread your cause, if there's anything I can do to support you breaking off and leaving the human body a healthier place, then please let me know, because I'm so down to do that. And males, if you're hearing this and it resonates with you, you know, you're tired of women, all that responsibility of families and marriage and leadership, too much for you, and you don't want to do it, there is a group for you. It's called Males Going Their Own Way. I'm sure they have a website. I haven't found it. And I strongly advise that you get with their program. And the key thing here is don't reproduce. Okay? Recruit, but don't reproduce. Take a message from the gays. Recruit, but don't reproduce. Recruit the weak. Thin out the herd. Let's make this purposeful evolution. Microevolution. Human imposed. Yeah. I like that.
All right, so I switched over to a video where she and Tommy Sotomayor went one-on-one. She actually said something very interesting, and I'm going to use in response to the video that we just did.
Well, this is what I'm saying. I don't even think it takes the laying of hands. And I've said this many times, not that I think men are going to do this. But you know, when you break up with a woman, how a lot of women and men in the comment section, you can attest to this. Even if they don't really want you, they go psycho. They start basically lightweight stalking you, a lot of women. If men just walk away from the female pool, if men are just like, you know what, you guys are going to get your stuff together and no sex for you, no dates for you, no attention for you until you act right. Collectively, if men did that, women would start to act right really quick. The turnover would be fast because women have no sort of steadfastness about them. You know what I mean? They're kind of blowing here and there.
I agree.
But men lack the fortitude to do that because they just really like.
So now she did it in a different kind of context, but at the same time, she's saying if men, in a way, go their own way, and I know she's going to say that that's not what it is, but if men walk away from women, the things would be different because they would have to react in a certain type of way. But she didn't walk away in totality. Now, if men say, well, we're going to go get dolls, when that was a trending on Twitter and social media, people shamed it. So how can you be against MGTOW, but yet you want men to go their own way, but only the way you see fit? This goes in exact line how she did the MGTOW response. You only want something to go the way you see fit, otherwise. And I'll put the link in the description to this video if you want to see how she talks about this subject. But if you don't agree with her, just like you're a horrible person, she calls you names. It's very, very, very childlike way to approach the situation. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section.